What's good, man? It's your boy Juicy J, man. Shout out to Virtual Homework Podcast.
Welcome to the Virtual Homework Podcast.
Yeah,
What?
Hey guys, welcome to the Virtual Homework Podcast. You missed like the 70 seconds like cut out of me just like saying random gibberish trying to have a good intro. I try too hard. I'm willing to admit that. But
I just kind of try to not sound like Christopher Walken every time. That's my goal.
That would sound way better. Like, so the thing is, I edit out all your pauses, so it's basically one non-stop sentence, like for your entire.
So it's like,
yeah. Have you seen that clip of Matthew McConaughey talking about his time in the Marvel universe?
No, I have not.
This is the first time for me in the Marvel universe.
Oh, sorry, it's Owen Wilson, not Matthew McConaughey. Like that is like legitimately like that's not a joke. Like that's how they edited it, and it sounds so but that's how you sound every single podcast. I'm like, Dana's like, I think about this game. This is my opinion.
That's why my eyes are like.
Yeah, there's no other reason. All the jump cuts that happen from like my face to like it's on this side of the screen and that side of the screen. If you're watching on the video podcast, that's all actually natural. I've mastered the art of teleporting and I've used it to make weird-ass podcasts with my boy. But I just wanted to say I'm excited because personally, I kind of think that like we're eventually going to run out of games, right? Games are produced.
What are you talking about? There's like literally infinite games. Like there's like
we do a podcast a week. Usually, sometimes we skip a week. And last time I checked, there wasn't like games come out like once a month or so. There's games are not released at the rate of once a week. So like in the next like couple of decades, we're going to run out of games, right?
Do you want to know how many video games there are?
I'm going to guess like 55. No, that's way too low. 175,000.
1.181 million.
I feel like
on Steam alone, there's 33,000. On the App Store, there's 811,000.
I feel like it's weird to qualify like what is truly a transformative work. Like there's probably like Sudoku and then like Sudoku 2, like basically just like a bunch of games that are like exactly the same. But I mean, theoretically there are a lot of games, but we'll probably get through most of them at some point. But I just wanted to say I'm really excited. Did you hear the news?
What news?
You have a face like you're like pre-upset.
I was gonna say, are you like the bird is the word or some shit that makes me want to like end my life in a video game.
Soldier Boy announced he's buying Atari.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he said he's buying Atari. That's completely unsubstantiated, and I don't know. I trust Soldier Boy. The Soldier Games console is definitely
apparently it's sold well.
Yeah, because it's Soldier Boy and it's a meme. But now that Soldier Boy. Now that Soldier Boy is at the helm of Atari, we're finally gonna get a good output of games that we could use on this podcast. When's the last Atari game we played on the podcast?
What does Atari even own at this point? Like, I want to like see like their like what's their
Soldier Pong.
Like, Soldier Pong. Like, I want to see like a Mario ripoff. It's just Super Mario Galaxy, but with Soldier Boy as the main character.
I mean, have you seen like Soldier Quest? The
Soldier Quest?
It's a random YouTube video.
I saw Kanye's Quest. That's a good game.
I just was saying, like, Atari, that's one company that, sure, they're a little off their wagon. They're trying to, like, come back and make this, like, they're trying to make, like, a Atari Mini, like, but it's way too late. Like, no one cares about the SNES Mini anymore. But they're off their wagon. It's an underappreciated console, like the Atari 5400 and 7800 series. Just like
I'm sorry, the Atari sucks. They're like the games like actually don't hold up and are not that fun.
Well, you've never played an Atari 7800 game like Gradius. Like legitimately, Atari 7800 Gradius looks dope. But I just wanted to say, yeah, from one underappreciated console to another, what did we play this week?
We played another Saturn game.
We got Saturn Fever.
I was so tickled by the Sega Saturn list last week that I decided to pick something that I've genuinely wanted to play ever since I was a little kid. I used to go to Sears with my mom, like in the 90s, and I would see a Saturn with the demo of this playing. Like, you couldn't actually play it. It was just like a video demo, and I was like, holy shit, that looks so cool. I want to play it ever since. We played Nights into Your Dreams, Into the Dreams. I forget what it is.
Nights into Dreams.
Nights into Dreams. I was wrong on both ends.
And want to know the
which is-
reason why you probably wanted to play this all the time as a kid? And sure,
Why?
because it looked dope and because it's a well-received game at the time and whatever. There's actual legitimate reasons to want to play this game. But I was looking into the history of this game. This game had a $10 million marketing budget in 1996.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And no wonder I wanted to play it. It just looks so cool because like the
Yeah.
commercials would be like you'd be like flying through all these rings like all crazy. You're like super fast. All right, I'm like 10. I have ADD. Fuck. Yeah, I want this.
Yeah, exactly. And like I also wanted this, but I was a little 1996 Saturn was a bit too old for me, but I was just that's not true because SNES was my first system. But I wanted to play this game because I played a bunch of Sonic Adventure, which had a Knights pinball mode in the game, and I was like, this looks dope. What is this? But talk about this game a little bit. What is this?
So this is actually quite a confusing game at first. So basically the concept is you pick either a boy or girl and then you go into a dream or something like that, and then the stage consists of, as soon as you get into the stage, you're as the girl or boy, a bunch of monsters come and attack you and steal your gems, and then you need to turn into the knight or something like that, some flying jester looking thing, and you need to get your little gems back. And what you do is you kind of go across different stages within a stage. You're basically on like a circuit where you have to go and collect gems to break a Metroid thingy to go to
it looks
the
like a
next
Metroid
stage.
actually. So legitimately,
it is like very confusing.
Yeah, legitimately, like you did a good job explaining the game there, but like this game is like I have it listed as it's the bowling strike screen, the video game. Like when you go to like the you're bowling and then like you get a strike
it is
and,
like. It is like Hyperpop, the fucking video game. Like it's completely nonsensical.
Yeah, it's really indescribable. It's very unique. I don't think there's really any other games like in this genre.
I actually wasn't that into it when I first played it, but like the more I played it, I'm like, I'm actually having I'm having a pretty good time. Like there's actually a lot to like about this title.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I first played it. Because first of all, like I wouldn't say it's like it hasn't. I was extremely worried when I started playing this game, and I was like, oh, this is going to be one of those games that was innovative, but that has aged
like
extremely
so
badly.
dated.
But I don't even think it's that dated. Like, sure, the graphics are, and the camera especially. Like, I was like immediately Googling, like, this camera is bullshit. How do I fix this? And you can't, because like that's like
it's
early
how it
3
is, yeah.
games, like they were like that. But
yeah.
this game has an appeal in a way that like it makes you want to continue to play it, and especially because like the environments get cooler and cooler as they go on. They didn't just run out of their ideas like in the immediate first few levels. Like I got used to the idea of this game potentially being fun. Well, when I initially started playing it, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
absolutely. Like, what the fuck is this? And like, once you like figure out like what it is, what the goal is, and what you're supposed to do, and then you start getting a little bit better at like doing that objective. It's actually quite a charming game. Like, it's. Like graphically, it's whatever. It's super bright. It's colorful. The music is so cool. Like I love the music in this. And it's just a fun game. Like I'm not saying it's the best game in the world, but I had a lot of fun.
Once you see that child eat shit from falling in the air, so like the thing is, the gameplay is like it's separated into 2 sections, but it might as well be separated into 1 section because like it's 95% you flying as this character Knights, but if you like run out of time because everything is timed, you like could go in a 3D plane and then like play as the child trying to recover back your flying ability.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like that was underutilized. I feel like they could have done a lot more.
I didn't understand it at all. Like there were like a bunch of like eggs you could collect in that mode, which just turn into the enemies or like monsters or flying things I didn't understand. You can also collect some of the gems that you use to destroy the Metroid thingy while in that mode. So I guess it's like an alternative way to do the objective, because by destroying the Metroid things, you get one of the 5 gems you need to go to that stage's boss. It's an interesting concept as far as how the stage is laid out. It's not just one stage. You're like kind of on like a 3D plane of different tracks, and each gem is kind of like a revolution of the map, and every time you get that gem you get put onto another track or revolution, which may completely change how you experience the level completely. It may change the camera, it may have like it shoot you out of a cannon and start like a different mechanic where you're like bouncing off things. The gameplay is extremely varied. And I guess not necessarily varied. I want to say it's more so a lot of the same, but how they innovate on that concept is just like it's done over and over how they're innovating it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to say the gameplay is varied, and like this is like during the time where varied gameplay was like acceptable. Like you could have like kind of like when I think of like Sonic Adventure, which this game is made by Sega Team. I kind of forgot to mention that this game is Yuji
you can
Naka.
definitely feel that, especially like how fast you fly sometimes.
Yeah, no, this game feels like a Sonic. Like it feels like a Sonic bonus screen a lot of the time. Like
yeah, that's a good way to play it.
Yeah, but yeah, like Sonic Adventure was very well received at the time, but like now you're playing it, you're like, this game is an absolute clusterfuck. What are they trying to do? And like when you realize that it was definitely just a demo for the capabilities on the Dreamcast, like you feel a little bit better about it. But like games now try to take one thing and excel at it, like at the absolute like core. While like I feel like games in like 1996 or like the late 90s were extremely experimental and varied in their gameplay, and this fits the bill. I do think that there's a lot of sections in this game that like they don't really work super well, but I'm able to forgive it. Actually, how far did you get in this game? Because one of the
I beat 3 stages on both sides, and I could not get farther. There's like this boss that shoots cards. It's like super bullshit, and I just did not have very much fun with it.
Yeah, I either first tried the bosses or like I just got frustrated to the point where I was like, I'm looking up a guide because I wanted to beat this game. I complain that this game is too short. This game is like legitimately a 2 to 3 hour experience, like at the core. I mean, I guess the other Saturn game we played was also a 2 to 3 hour experience. So I'm hoping
it seems like a lot of these early 3D games for like it seems like Saturn and Dreamcast games. They seem like they're all like tech demos. They're not like fully fleshed out games. Which if you look at like the PlayStation or other early 3D consoles, like those are more like fully fleshed out experiences versus these just feel like tech demos, like as far as like how long they are.
Well, I think that we've also just picked bad games for that. Like there are definitely like Panzer Dragoon Saga. Like first of all, these are both relatively early into the life cycle of the Saturn.
Yeah.
I forget the exact history, but like 1995 when Panzer Dragoon is one of the first games on the system, and like it's also coming from an environment where like the only 3D games are arcade games, so like you're kind of having an arcadey feel to your 3D experience. So I'm not like super upset about it, but I just wish there was more game. And I don't know, I beat the game. So the thing is, I was actually kind of frustrated because the scoring system in this game is really, really not intuitive. And like, even though the game is time based, like the way that you get a high score is by like actually wasting time and like going through the maps multiple times. So you need a C or higher on every single stage to unlock the end game. And honestly, I
did not know that.
I think it's worth it to because the 4 stages, you couldn't do them unless you got a C on all of them, and like I think I had a couple D's, so I had to go back and play them. But I think it's worth it because the last stage was pretty fun, and honestly the cutscene at the end is like hilarious because like they have like 3D cutscene graphics from like 1995 that look so terrible, and it's just like I sent you like this image of like it reminded me of like the end of Evangelion because I'm in an Evangelion mood because the last movie just released, and it was just like, what the fuck am I watching right now? It's like a 20-minute cutscene at the end of just like random bullshit. I didn't even know there was a plot to this game. Yeah, so like the last cutscene for this game is absolutely ridiculous, so I recommend finishing it for that regard. But like I don't know, I wish there were more stages. The thing is, I am proud of myself in that like I was actually able to complete a game for the podcast. I guess I did two weeks in a row. Saturn games for the win. I'm a big fan apparently, but
I mean, I don't mind these like shorter games that are just like fun experiences for like what they are, like, you know.
I don't mind that, but like when I'm thinking of like someone buying it, the thing is, why does it even matter when I shouldn't even think about buying this game in 1996. Like no one is going to be buying a Saturn game in this stage because like the games were like $70 at a minimum, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna emulate this. We emulated it too. The thing is, like, I mentioned that the cutscene graphics were absolutely terrible. The funny thing is, this game, one of its main selling points was that it had amazing graphics for 1996. Like, when you compare this...
For 1996?
Yeah, compare the graphics here to Mario 64. And I would say this is, especially the backgrounds, they're significantly more detailed than Mario 64.
So this is more detailed, but this is actually one of my huge problems with the game is because it's so pixelated, and they're trying to do so much detail with what limited graphic capabilities they have, that I frequently like have difficulty understanding where I am, if that makes sense. Like, this is totally a game that I feel like if I had a remaster, this would probably be like in a top game of mine. I think this game could really use like a modern remaster, and
so there
it'd be awesome. Ooh, is it
on
really?
Steam? Yeah. Also, this game came to PlayStation 2.
Really?
Yeah. We just
Fuck,
played the
why would we
Saturn
play
version.
this version?
Because I did
Oh
the
my
Saturn
God.
version. It's the one that people like remember fondly. Because like,
Well, I'm happy I played it.
No surprise. Retroactive reviews of this game are like, yeah, it's flawed. It's not like a Mario.
No, but like it definitely feels like almost like a Sonic game. How you like going super fast. It's unique enough to keep you interested, and I actually don't mind it being that short because it's like, oh, this was fun. I feel like it didn't overstay its welcome. If that makes sense.
Want to know? So you keep saying that it reminds you of a Sonic game. Want to know what this reminds me of? Balan Wonderworld. Which makes sense. They're by the same guy. Balan Wonderworld is like an obvious sequel to this game. Like legitimately, like it's an obvious spiritual successor to this game.
That's actually horrible.
The knight's character is obviously Balan Man. I don't know his name. I don't care.
Balan Man.
I don't. Do you know? It could
I have
definitely
no
be that.
fucking clue.
He has the big top hat and like there's the jester outfit. Like the Knight's Man is Balan Wonderworld guy. And like the thing is, like I kind of understand that like on the surface, Balan Wonderworld and this game have like similarities. It's a whimsical universe where you have this like random nondescript hero that's gonna save everyone, and you have kids that are like getting saved by this guy.
What are they saving? Like, what's the story of this fucking game? Like,
the story of this game is that you have they have something called Nightmare Land, and you have like Dr. Xanadu or something insane, and he's like trying to infect people's nightmares or get people's dreams, like get the dream energy, and he's turning them into nightmares. So that's the plot of this game, legitimately.
Two things I don't feel like we talked enough about is, for one, we talked a little bit about it, how varied the stages are. Like the different mechanics and stuff like that. I really like it was like soft museum. You like bounce off like the walls and floor.
Yeah,
like, the walls
that's
were
my
like
favorite
parallaxed,
level by
like moving around and stuff. Like it was super super cool. Like,
that's what I was gonna. We mentioned this a little bit in our graphical discussion, but like the level of detail, I think that's where it excels for a game from 1996, where like things have a lot of character that you wouldn't expect. Like you look at a pipe in Mario 64, it's just like it's a cylinder. And like
it's a pipe.
Yeah, but it just looks like a cylinder. While like this game, like the stages, like actually like they look like taffy.
They like warp. Yeah, they look like taffy. Like they warp around. Like you change your angle like over and over. Like where your character, like the plane of existence your character is on, it's constantly changing. You're going up. You're going down. You're just, like circling things. Like it's like. It's really quite enjoyable. I think I might actually play the remake on Steam if it's not.
It's like $7 something, or no, I can't tell you the price, but I remember it was pretty cheap. Because I was thinking about doing it because I was like an overachiever this week, and I actually beat the game like a couple days early, and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll try the remaster and see how it is, but we'll take that for another day. Maybe for next week you'll pick the remaster for this game.
What did you think about the music and stuff like that? And like
I thought it was good. You're like you've been a sound design connoisseur for like the past couple. I'm not. It's not a call out, but I feel like you've been like really emphasizing the sound design for like. Well, the
it's
past
like
couple
for me,
days.
that's like for these old school games, like that's like it's so impressive to me that it like for sound and music to sound so good, like 30 years ago, almost, like that's to me that's awesome. Yeah, it's just a testament of how good it is.
There are some like I listen to video game music all the time, and like there are many video game soundtracks, especially on like the SNES era, that like they're better than stuff that's made now. Like just straight
Final
up.
Fantasy Mystic Quest has some really good music,
and like it's all like random games too. Like I know that like most people know this from a Mario hack called Jump at this point, but there's like a random soundtrack for the Asterisks and Obelisk TV show game on Super Nintendo that like has a really good track. Like it's called The Mountain. Shout outs to The Mountain on Asterisk and Obelisk for SNES.
Shout outs to The Mountain.
Yeah, to Mount Everest. We want you on the podcast next week. Get in touch with our agent.
Yeah, we're speaking to giant craggy beings.
I like to think that you said beans instead of beings. Because we haven't had enough bean-related content. Like, honestly, we haven't had... Like, we used to be a bean cast. We used to talk about Killer Bean, and now we haven't had it.
I'm a fake beanaholic. Like, I go to Chipotle, I don't even get beans in my burrito.
That's
I don't
fucked up.
Yeah.
I will say I'm not a huge black bean fan, and that's...
Wow.
Good thing
Sam is canceled.
I'm not a big black bean fan because I feel like black beans overpower everything. I'm just powering through this conversation. I made it worse for myself here. No, like legitimately, like everything when you put black beans in it, it just tastes like black bean. So I get pinto.
I don't like beans. Like
I'm
in general,
Pinto fan.
I think I don't like beans. I don't like the idea of beans. It just
You
it's
don't
just,
like the idea of beans?
well, it's just like fucking saucy like things. Like it doesn't sound good to me. Like
A bean's like a seed, right?
yeah, it's like saucy seeds. Like it sounds terrible.
It sounds delicious, okay? Speaking of terrible, I really just want to emphasize how much I was reminded of Balan Wonderworld while playing this game. You didn't have any connection?
I guess I didn't notice it.
It's literally the same guy. Yuji Naka made Knights, and then he
it
made
makes
Balan
sense
Wonderworld.
once you start looking at the kids and then like look at the things that you're flying around with. Like there's a lot of like parallels.
Like,
for
there's
sure.
that whole quick time events sequence in Balan Wonderworld where it's just like a dude flying around during. Yeah, but he's also like doing like circles. Like, we didn't really mention that one of the mechanics. Like, you're supposed to like trap things in your circle trail. It's really hard to explain. Like, we can't really. This is a weird. We could
Play
talk
this
about.
game.
Yeah, we could talk about our opinions on this game, but we can't really describe this game. It's like trying to.
It's like
describe
you're
an
like
art house
racing
movie.
and you should probably play it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So-
I think I would like. I know I complained about the game not being long enough, but I think that the shortness of the game means it's not too much of a commitment. Just play it. It's not
Yeah.
that hard.
I'm actually really happy that it didn't outdate itself. Like there are definitely things about it that feel outdated, or don't date themselves well. Because I remember that was a point you were talking about. You're like, oh, I was like, oh, I'm so excited for this, and you're like, don't get too excited. I hear it's pretty dated.
Yeah, I was worried that like both of our like because obviously you have like an ideal version of like what you think a game is going to be versus when you play it, like and you've had it since like you've had this for like 20 plus years, like even like
Yeah,
I
straight up
this
like
game
almost
looks
like
so
20,
dope.
25 years.
And I'm gonna say this game at least lived up to expectations. Like I wasn't like looking for a life-changing experience from like a 1996 Saturn
no,
game. but
I'm not gonna say it's like in my like even favorite games ever, but it definitely was like a cool experience. So I'm
Yeah.
happy we played it.
I'm happy I checked it off the list. Never
The
have
list.
to play Knights again. I probably won't. that's how
There's
it is.
so yeah, we were always like, oh, we're gonna go back and play this. It's like, no, I'm immediately after this podcast, I'm gonna play Final Fantasy till like 2 a.m, or actually not play Final Fantasy. I'm actually just gonna list items on the market and then surf.
Remember when we were gonna play Lord of the Rings online?
I have it. I'm waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you, man. How come you never asked me to play Lord of the Rings online?
I did like twice. You're like, okay, man.
Man. Dude, you ever play the Wingspan app?
No.
They
I thought you were
apparently
gonna say Pilot Wings. It was Pilot Wings 64. I want to play more Nintendo 64 games on this podcast. We haven't played like any.
was the last one Mischief Makers?
Yeah, we have picked like no Nintendo 64 games.
Yeah, there's a game called Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap Your Necks. Your little
Ha!
bitch.
Ha! I actually got owned there.
Can I ask you, what's your favorite soda? Like, just if you just had like a generic soda.
So the thing is, when you say generic, you mean like flavor of soda. You don't mean brand.
I guess like if there was like something that'd be like at like a Burger King or something, or like McDonald's or something like that. If you're
Well,
a big
my
soda.
actual favorite soda is very specific, and it's something that you're not gonna know. So I'm gonna give backstory, but then I'll give a more or less bullshit response. My favorite soda is Dr. Wells, and you're like, what the fuck is Dr. Wells? Is that a Dr. Pepper knockoff? Technically, but it's by the Dad's Root Beer Company. So I'm not sure if you had Dad's
I
Root Beer.
love Dad's Root Beer.
Yeah.
That's like a top 3 for me.
Yeah, Dad's Root Beer is the best root beer company. I'm not sure if you you haven't seen. There's been like a A&W versus Mug root beer war on Twitter. I guess you've missed that, sadly.
And I'm sorry, versus Mug. Mug's root beer sucks. A&W is okay unless it's come from the tap. Barks is better than both of them.
No, I think sorry, it was Barks versus Mug. But
Mug sucks. Like Mug's is literally the worst root beer.
I genuinely don't have enough skin in the game for this conversation. But no, Dad's
root beer is my favorite drink.
Dad's Root Beer is the best of all those. But that's like a boutique brand. Like you're not going to see that at like most grocery stores. That's like a little bit more fancy. But
In Chicago, you do.
yeah, but I think it's also a Midwestern brand, and that's why.
Yeah.
But so Dad's Root Beer makes Bubble Up, and they make a Dr. Wells. Those are two
Bubble Up are pretty good.
Yeah, so Dr. Wells is just it's like the best version of Dr. Pepper. So I love that soda. Actually, and then like I'm a huge cream soda nut, okay? That's if I see cream
Ooh.
soda at
I love cream soda.
yeah, that's my actual answer to your question. Where were you going with this?
Do you remember when I was talking to you about soda, and there was like a really good soda brand I said that was really good. That had really good cream soda. Do you remember what the name of it was?
I don't, but the fact that you don't remember what it is a little concerning for the
Fuck.
quality of the soda.
I'm gonna go to work tomorrow, and then I'm gonna tell you to buy it. It's really good. I was gonna say, Sprite is very good.
Sprite is my go-to because they never actually have cream soda in the fountain drink.
Like, I actually didn't really like Sprite too much until like this year, and then I'm like, I have a case of Sprite in my shit because it's like, damn, I could really go for a Sprite right now.
I got
It's
a
like-
bad case of Sprite.
It's like so refreshing, and it's not like heavy like a Coke.
Well, the thing is, like, this has to be intentional, right? So, like, every single time you go to, like, a restaurant or anything, like, there's, like, the water thing, but, like, people, obviously, when they don't want water, they'll, like, sneak and, like, try to get a not water beverage from the fountain drink. Like, the Sprite is literally usually right next to, or, like, the same one you press the water in.
They literally know you're doing it, though, because it fizzes and is loud, and, like, has a completely different noise and, like, smells. Like, they know you're stealing.
Well, okay, no, like they know if they're paying attention. I feel like they're honestly probably a little too busy if you're at like a Chipotle.
They
or
know
something.
I promise you, they know.
No, but what I'm saying is like I feel like they intentionally do that to like the people who are stealing, because like soda costs like 2 cents. Like it is legitimately so cheap to get that like sugar for the fountain drink thing. Like the actual cost of like maintenance. That's the significantly bigger impact in a fountain. Like, have you ever had to clean a fountain soda machine? Probably not.
Yeah, it sucks.
Oh, you work in food?
No, I just know how much it sucks. How you have to like take the rings out and stuff like that.
It sucks so bad, and that's hours.
That's
of
actually
time.
my go-to way to know if a restaurant is good or not. Is I go to the soda machines, I take a napkin and go around the inside rings, and if you get gunk, that means there's probably super nasty shit in the back.
Fuck it, especially in COVID times, fucking insane person just like wiping off all the soda machines. Got a little Karen in the making.
I love fast food, and I like finding little cool spots. So it's like cleanliness is like, I may be like a degenerate, dirty scumbag, but it's like I like clean things.
You should be a health inspector for like fast food restaurants. That would be the perfect job for you. Boss Dana coming in, being like, I gotta taste this burger, see if it is up to my standards, and then like you're just wiping down the employees' grease on their face.
I need to delete this minion thing. I just keep looking at it.
Yeah, well, no one knows what we're talking about right now. But anyway, I don't even know.
Sprite is good. Sprite is great. Thank you for the food we ate.
Sprite remix. Dude, are you gonna get that Hades Switch controller?
No, like so it says power a Switch controller. What does that refer to? I don't understand.
Power A, I'm going to assume is it's a Power A enhanced wired controller for Nintendo Switch. So I think it's just like, you know how like there are companies that like it's the same thing but better. It's like a slightly better version of the Switch Pro controller. Or I'm just an absolute idiot. Even though it looks exactly like a Switch Pro controller, it is like a Mad Catz controller. It's $27.
Oh, yeah, this looks like shit.
Wait, this news sucks. Why are we talking about it?
This news does suck.
Yeah, like you link this and I just saw like, oh, Switch Pro controller with like official Hades art. That's cool, but no, this is just like random third party company releases Hades controller that looks pretty cool.
With has lack of a few functions found on Nintendo's own Pro controller.
Also, like the fact of the matter is like you have a Switch Lite, so it's not like you're getting another controller anytime soon.
No, I'm probably getting another Switch for Christmas though. So
I forgot to tell you, I got a new controller for my Switch, so I actually can use it now. That's
nice.
right. That's right. I got like a gift card for Amazon. I'm like, I'm gonna spend this on something useful instead of like bullshit that I'm never gonna use, like this massive synthesizer back here. That's right. I'm bragging. But I am jealous.
Do you have cool colors?
Oh no, I get the sleek black. I was considering waiting to like get the white controllers with the new OLED switch, but like those are impossible to find. You're not gonna find them.
No, you're gonna have to pay like $100 a piece for them.
If you are getting, I mean, like obviously you can't choose your gifts. If someone is getting you a Switch as a gift, then you can't like I don't know if that's the case or you're just getting one around Christmas time for yourself. But hypothetically, are you like a ride or die new OLED or nothing?
No, I don't care at all.
Really?
I just want. I honestly just would want to get one that I can hook up to my TV because there are just so many games on the Switch that I love, but I feel like I would love it much more being able to hook it up to my TV.
I can see it. There's really no. There is. That's the whole point of the Switch Lite. There's no like external out, right?
Like, don't get me wrong, I love my Switch Lite, and it's very enjoyable to play, like lay in bed and stuff like that. But sometimes I just want to chill back on a controller.
The Switch Lite is unbelievably cheap. Like $200 is like so cheap for a console. Like when you think about it.
It's not even like just I don't even consider a handheld. It's like a full on console. Like it's actually insane, the technology.
Well, I think that you should probably get the. You are literally the like only person who is justified in getting a new model Switch. So
yeah, I mean, like I mean the OLED is cool, but it's like to me it's like.
Well, it's more about they got a cool stand now, even though I never use the stand.
Wow. Oh, you have an OLED Switch?
No, that no one does. If I had one, that'd be so sick because they come out in October. But
I want a fucking Steam Deck though. That shit looks dope. I've seen people play it and it looks super cool.
Well, you should have pre-ordered it because now it's like if you pre-order it now, then like you're gonna get it like late 2022.
Yeah, no, it's not happening.
Production issues. I mean, like this thing behind me was like delayed for like 3 months, even though I bought it on time because of like terrible production issues. The world is still falling apart. If you forgot, if you were having fun in your life for a second,
issues on everything. I work in an industry with where we are buying 70 million different toys and games and puzzles, and it's all on back order. We're probably not going to have it for Christmas,
dude.
There's a spider on my wall, and I'm terrified. We ordered like $100,000 worth of puzzles in February. We're still waiting for them due to production issues. We cannot get airsoft guns at all due to production issues. It is insane.
Dude, holy shit. Like I'm not going to disclose where I work because I'm not as brave as Dana here, but like my company has been like, I feel like there was like some feedback that like, hey, we don't get enough stuff. Because like there was a period of time where like new employees just like weren't boring shit. Anyway, they completely overcompensated, and now they're like every other week I'm getting some random shit. It's like I don't care about this. I'm gonna throw this. I got like a reusable straw, and
like what the fuck is that?
Yeah, like they're running out. But like one of the things they got us custom puzzles with like basically the logo of the company. But the thing is, they mess it up so bad in that it's a 1,000-piece puzzle, and the logo of the company is like it takes up the middle 25%, and then it's just a black background for the rest of the puzzle. So I have a near like entirely just pure black puzzle, and I've
that sounds so difficult.
It's not fun. Like I've seen actually just pure white puzzles before, or like
yeah,
pure
they're like puzzles you give as like a joke, or like people who really like puzzles, they want like a challenge.
It's not that it's challenging; it's that there's literally no skill. You have to just say, "It's not this piece," or "Let me try another piece," and then you're just like going from pile to pile, and it's just not fun. And it's like I like my job, but like it's making me think like, hey, I have bad memories associated with this company now.
Do you have it out right now somewhere you're building?
I do have, so it was out, but it was taking up our entire kitchen table. So like I carefully like separated it and like placed it into like, I basically have it disassembled but assembled in a way that I could easily get back to it.
Do you actually like doing puzzles?
I love puzzles, but I always forget I love puzzles.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you something that is puzzle related that will actually increase your enjoyment of them.
Do you like Chuzzles?
I actually haven't played Chuzzle yet.
Yeah, that's right. Your friend gets you a video game and you don't play it. Because...
Yeah, you were like drunk at like midnight telling me to fucking watch Ernest Goes to Africa 700 times, and then you're like Chuzzle, and then...
Yeah, so. Chuzzle was not involved in the conversation at all. That was like a complete aside. This happened like 18 hours ago. So like the fact of the matter is like I already forced him to play video games for one podcast. But you're going to send me something that makes me like puzzles, I guess.
Yeah, so, okay, I'll actually just tell you what it is. So they make these things that where you...
Headphones are out. Okay?
Oh, my God.
Headphones are out. And unless I get this before I start editing, I don't think something good is going to happen, okay?
No.
The whole point of the gift, the art of the gift, okay? I'm Donald Trump Jr., and I'm making my own book. The Art of the Deal, fuck that. The Art of the Gift. And it's just about sending dope shit. And...
there's still a spider on my wall.
Is it scaring you? Are you gonna like? So apparently, I had a spider on my neck today,
staring at me.
literally about to sink its fangs into my neck, and like Angela flicked it off, and she was like, actually, she was more traumatized than me. So that could be you. That could be you in a second.
I would actually be crying.
Yeah, like I just like see your eye. It's like on your eye, and then it's like biting you up.
Is that you wearing an Internet Explorer shirt?
No, that was Bape. It's always Bape.
Is that an Among Us shirt?
It's a sussy gorilla. I don't know what else to say.
You ever just have one of those days at work where you're like, this was a very, very fun day? Like, I probably had one of my most fun days at work today.
Congrats. That's like I don't know what to say. Like when everyone's like, oh, you have one of those days at work, that's never a positive thing. But for you, apparently it is.
Well, so the owner of the company, he messaged me like a week ago, like, hey, do you want to go to the anime wholesale warehouse and pick some stuff out for the store? And I was like, yeah, sure. So we get there and he's like, you have $2,000 to just pick out whatever you want for the store. So we can get like 70 figurines and like $800 in plush. So I got like all these super, super fucking awesome anime figurines, you know, like One Piece, Dragon Ball Z. I got some Toho ones, reincarnated as a slime, Demon Slayer, like all this really, really cool stuff. And they're super high quality, and a bunch of whole Pokemon plush, and that was super fun. And then I went home, did laundry, and then went to work. And I basically spent my entire shift like building figurines and like displaying them in a display case to look super fucking dope. It was just like such a fun day.
Well, I'm a little jealous, but I've never really been in like one, like I'm not like trying to poo-poo on you right now, but I never really got figurines, you know? I mean, I'm maybe a little hypocritical because I used to have this clay bear. I like Navajo pottery. That's oddly specific, but
it's like the same thing.
Yeah, I guess it is a little bit, but like people are allowed to like what they like I 100% think that, but I always like saw figurines as just I can't get into them at all.
I mean, just like anything else, like you like Navajo pottery, people like figurines. I don't really collect figurines either. I have like, I think one that's like a big busty booby lady, but that's about it.
I went through my big busty anime figurine phase when like probably like 2010.
So wait, you just said I don't understand figurines.
No,
as you said,
no,
you
okay.
used to collect figurines.
I didn't. I have like 2 figurines, and one's like busty Nami at like my parents' house. The thing is,
yes,
like when you go to like,
so that's having a figurine. So you get it.
No,
why do you? Why did you have that?
Because I'm trying to tell you, and you're attacking me here. When I went to an anime con, or like the first couple years when I went to an anime con, I'm like, oh, I gotta buy shit at the booths because like that was like part of the experience.
That's
like,
what you did.
Yeah, and like it was more about me being like wrapped up in the anime con moment before I realized that like all the stuff that they sell at anime cons is junk unless you go to the artist alley, and even then it's like not amazing quality. So I just stopped doing that. But
we're very lucky that this vendor, it's like a wholesale warehouse. They have extremely high quality stuff. You know, little statues. I think like 10-inch statues, 12-inch statues.
What's the best
super
one?
high quality.
What figure?
Like some of the Dragon Ball Z ones are fucking so dope. Because Dragon Ball Z, I guess, is a license, is so cheap. They're significantly higher quality and bigger and have more weight to them. At the same price point as like other licenses, which could be small and like cheap.
I like unrelated. I learned that like, so I was talking about Hot Wheels with someone in my Discord, and I know that figurines are basically toys. Okay, I could make this tangent, but there's like, I was like, oh, do you guys remember the volcano Hot Wheels track?
I had that. I had it.
No, that's not descriptive enough. There's like 9 volcano tracks.
The original volcano track, the one that like flies out the volcano hole, goes through like a loop-de-loop, and then like goes down and like goes in like around. Like
yeah, but like that's like basic shit. Like you could like it's like the evolution of the volcano track. Like there's one where like you go airborne and you have to do like a 7 like foot drop to like another track.
Yeah, that's the one I had. Volcano. Oh, there's all these like bullshit ones now. Okay, it's the volcano blowout set.
It wasn't the one I just sent you where it has like the massive loop at the top. Cause that was the most badass one.
Yeah, this is the one I had. Yeah, this was so cool. I had unbelievable toys. I was like super into Connects when I was a kid. Did you ever get into Connects?
I like Connects, but like I always wanted to make like the massive roller coasters, and like those sets were like hundreds of dollars, and I couldn't understand why my parents wouldn't do that. But
I had all that shit as a kid. Like I literally like by myself built this. It took like an entire summer.
yeah, that's the one. The loop-de-loop connects. Like that shit was
Yeah.
so dope. I can't believe that you had it, and I'm jealous.
I had a fantastic childhood.
My grandma had Connects, okay? And like I would enjoy going to my grandma's house because I made like a bike out of Connects, like a literal life-size bike. Stop sending me dope ass Connects roller coaster. You're just gonna
Dude,
make me upset with you.
I probably have like I have all this shit still. I probably have like several thousands of dollars worth of Connects. This stuff was so fun to build and play with.
I'm legit jealous of your Connect collection, I guess. I feel like Connects. No, actually, no. I feel like I read news that like Connects was no longer a thing, or like they changed a material and it failed.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a lot as a kid, but my understanding is that it got significantly less quality, and that sucks. I also had the big ass like crane. I had this one.
Yeah, I know every single like. First of all, for those who don't know Connects, it's like basically a Legos competitor, but who doesn't know Connects?
But it's like life size.
Yeah, I thought Connects were better than Legos. I don't know about you.
I had both, but I like Connects more. I was very like I used to like love building and taking apart stuff. The problem with Connects, they literally had pieces that would physically like injure you because they were so hard to like put together.
I mean,
like
so did Legos.
Well, like so, like on looking at the roller coaster set, the original one, you see how like there's those orange pieces that look like the track is attached to it. You had to do like this sideways orange rod that would physically injure you. Trying to find this tower I had. Oh, this thing was like literally 8 feet tall. I built that.
Okay, I do know what that. Yeah, and when you say literally 8 feet tall, it was like bigger than an actual human being. Connects were dope. Let's bring back Connects. Nostalgia pod, okay?
This actually has a story behind this. So when my parents got divorced and my mom was introducing me to my stepdad and stuff like that, and then my stepdad was introducing me to his son at the time, I was like, I made this cool Connects tower. Watch this. And I like turned it on, and then like I accidentally like the whole thing like fell apart and shattered, and I started crying, and then he started laughing.
Well, I mean, there you go. Like decades of brotherly love. I don't know.
No, he does heroin now.
Oh no, I'm not gonna leave that in the podcast.
No, leave it in. It's great.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. It was 10 out of 10. Man, I haven't thought about Connects in like so many years because this thing was so cool. Like it was all like moving parts.
There's like a bunch of Connects video games, right?
Oh, have you ever played Lego Island, like the game?
I've played a lot of Lego. Actually, I haven't played that many Lego games. In that, one of my favorite games of all time. It's like the only RTS that I ever really enjoyed was Lego Rock Raiders, which I will have to play that sometime in the podcast. It's really hard to play. I think like it's like a early 2000s like PC game, so like it actually doesn't run. You have to get like a PC emulator, which is annoying. But Lego Rock Raiders, Lego Racers, I think it was on N64, but also had a PC port. I think I played it on the PC, and then Lego
Racers. Lego Racers is a dope game.
Yeah, I
make
enjoyed
like super insane like carts, and then like just make them like completely horrible, like giant bricks that take up the entire screen, and then
I just remember that like my library had video games, like probably before most libraries had video games, and I was just like I rented Lego Racers, and I was just like, this is the best game I've ever played, and then like I never got it, and now I bet if I played it I'd be like, this is a shit game that I'm glad I
was very lucky that I had internet and a computer at a very, very young age, like 1994, probably earlier than that. So it's like I had like a lot of those first games, you know, like Lego Island. I can't think of any other games right now. Did I ever talk about how my school gave us all PlayStations in like
no, what the fuck?
So in like second grade, what happened was like I went to a very nice school. They gave every single kid for summer break a PlayStation and quote unquote learning games called Lightspan. These are actually worth a shit ton of money. You'd play these games called like The Adventures of Google. Look up Lightspan. Look it up.
I'm looking it up. Price chart.
Yeah, you would get the PlayStation, get these learning games, and you had to play them. And then we would have like when you came back from summer break, you'd have like quizzes. I'm like, oh, what these characters do? Blah blah blah. They're actually like full motion video games. Like the budget on these things must have been like super huge because they were quite ambitious and actually pretty cool. But instead, I would literally just rent Jetmoto.
Lightspan must be worth a fortune. How much? Guess how much it is?
Like $10.
$8. Yeah.
Well, no, there's like hundreds of games though.
Yeah, I there's like this confusing like box looking thing. Does this look familiar to you? Probably. It's like a blue box with like a polygon on it.
Yeah, and it has a whole bunch of. There's like a million discs in there.
Okay.
Oh
so-
man, I don't. I try not to collect stupid shit too much, but that's something right there. I would love to have that. Like that would be so fucking cool to me.
I would love to collect some PlayStation 1 games, but they're literally impossible to find. Like I want Koro Post Neen, which is like it's a game about like this anime mail delivery girl, and it's like it's a weird ass game. But like it's not even that like it's so rare that like it sells for thousands of dollars, but like it just doesn't sell.
Doesn't exist. Yeah.
And that's like 90% of the PlayStation 1 library, because people forget that like the PlayStation 1 had like 3,000 games or some insane amount of games.
There's shit ton of games. There's a ton of good games too. PlayStation 1 is like a system that I feel like a lot of people were too young to really appreciate, because there's an unbelievable. It has like, you know, one of the best RPG libraries of all time. So many platformers. You know, I could gush about the PS1 forever. So
yeah, well, I could gush about the Saturn forever. Okay, basically the same thing.
I'm falling for the Saturn a little bit.
Yeah, I like the Saturn. I mean, like the thing is, it's like
Bizarro PlayStation.
Yeah, actually, that's a really good way to put it. But yeah, it's also I just like physical media, and I can't do that with a Saturn because I'm not.
No,
we're not incredibly wealthy off this podcast yet. Once we get
not yet
the OnlyFans going. Oh wait, we can't do that anymore. But once we get the OnlyFans going with non-adult content, then we're going to really take off. We're going to get millions.
You feel good about that one?
I feel really good about that transition. That was a great transition.
I know, I'm not going to lie. It was 10 out of 10.
Well,
but yeah, I saw the whole thing with OnlyFans. They're like, so it was weird though. They said they're not allowing sexual content anymore, but they're allowing nudes and other like video like and stuff like that. It was weird. I guess if it's artistic, if it's
yeah.
Artistic
I mean, no one's
nude,
like jacking off in the art museum, like, and there's nude bodies in there.
You don't know that.
Well, I mean, it is frowned upon. It is not a pornography theater.
That just
in the
seems
art museum.
like a weird way to like. I guess it's getting rid of like all like the fetish shit that people do on there. It's probably just like just naked, like tasteful naked pictures of people. I don't know.
Well, okay. So the thing is, like, if I was the person who, so like, I'm just gonna say this is an idiotic business decision. The entire internet's ripped it apart. But if I was OnlyFans, which started as basically a Patreon competitor, and then my platform turned into a pornography platform, I would be horrified as like an employee. Like, hypothetically, I'm the CEO. That's one thing. I feel like a CEO could own it if they have one of the most popular platforms on the internet for anything at this point.
Yeah.
They could, even if they worked in pornography, they could probably get a job. Like, hypothetically, the CEO of Pornhub could probably get a job at a C-level company that's not related to pornography.
He could probably get a job like literally at like anywhere. Like to be like the CEO of Pornhub is like unbelievably prestigious. I think you're drastically underestimating like.
No,
I go with that.
I literally just said he could get a job anywhere. Maybe you misinterpreted me there. But
you said C-level.
C-level is CEO, like CFO.
Oh, I thought so when you say C-level, I thought you
not C-tier.
Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ,
no,
like
industry terms here. But
okay, sorry.
Obviously, you're not the C-level shit. I'm CEO of Picante Enterprises. That's how you know I'm really good at business when I can't spell enterprises.
CEO of this dick.
I guess that's hopefully true. Hopefully no one else is managing that ship.
But this is a terrible business decision. I
gotta finish my thought, and I'm sorry for interrupting you. But like, I could see at a C-level, like, running a successful online business is great. But like, hypothetically, if you were like a founding software engineer for like OnlyFans, when you're like, hey guys, we're gonna make a Patreon competitor, and then it's like, oh, I guess I work for a porn company right now, because that was like a weird trend. I don't know how old OnlyFans is, but I'm just I
could see like at a company level why that hurts them, but it's like it very much so parallels what happened to Tumblr. Like, you remember when Tumblr was like one of the biggest websites on the internet, and then they got rid of all the porn and no one uses Tumblr anymore?
I think that Tumblr, it's overblown how much impact. Like, there's still a sizable Tumblr community now, but yes, it did have a massive impact to their website. But The thing is, like, we could talk about like the business implications and say the exact same thing as everyone else, but like I feel like it's worth noting that they say it's not necessarily due to the fact that like, oh, they just don't want to be that type of website. They're just saying that they're having issues with like banking transactions because they have a adult content website. And
which makes sense.
Yeah, which I don't know, it makes a little sense, but when you like think about it, it's like, no, it's kind of a lame excuse. There's definitely a lot of websites that are willing to, or a lot of services that are willing to work with that.
Correct, but then that's like they have to move their whole operation to like maybe a different country and stuff like that, and then it's like,
and then B, like they also like have made some clarifications that like people aren't really looking at, that I think that like it's gonna be like allowed but like quarantined in a way. Like right now it's kind of like blended with the other content. Like think about like hypothetically if they had an age gated category on Twitch or something like that. I don't really know. I didn't look too much into it. I'm not.
Cause that sounds about right. Because I imagine if you go to OnlyFans, it's like, you know, like the Minecraft YouTuber is right next to like, you know, Busty Twat 420. Like
we know who Dana's subbed to on OnlyFans. I've never been on OnlyFans. I'm serious about that. I've never been to the website.
I actually have a funny aside for that. So someone gave us a 1-star review on Google saying that I went into the store, it was filthy, and the employee was watching OnlyFans.
Is that you?
No one at my store was watching OnlyFans because everyone is like too old to know what that is, or too young to like ever pay for that. Like we would never pay for it. So,
well, I mean, if you already got the review and the review's not going away, you might as well start.
It's like at work, like it's another thing. Like they would have to be at like a certain angle to like at a glance realize we're watching OnlyFans. So they must be like the ultimate connoisseur of OnlyFans.
That's like yeah, well, not, I guess they're close to ultimate. They're definitely a connoisseur, but if they were the ultimate connoisseur, they'd be able to tell the slight differences from the OnlyFans web layout than whatever. You're probably on like Twitter or something. I don't know. No, Dana is never on Twitter at his work. Well, now he's not, but he never was anyway because
they're actually giving more. They're giving me more content. Like day by day, I'm getting more content on my phone, which is really weird because I can still follow topics. So it's like
I know you got like a human response. Did you ever actually get like a response to that response?
No.
Okay. Well,
no.
One
so
day,
I'm just waiting.
One day, because you're gonna come back to Twitter and then like immediately post like, I'm going to murder every single person who wronged me.
I'm just gonna like goatsy, like actually.
Just like goatsy, but with your face in the goatsy and be like, guess who's back?
No, I'm just like actually gonna.
Oh, you're
goatsy.
Gonna do the goatsy. You're gonna make goatsy
like,
too.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not against the rules, I think.
It's
unless it's qualified as self-harm.
I mean, there will definitely be harm to like everyone. I'll be harming myself. Like everyone viewing this will be harmed.
Okay. I thought you were actually making a vague threat to your potential Twitter comeback. Oh no. Well, I mean, honestly, if I got suspended from a platform like Twitter, when I came back, I just like wouldn't use it. I would like basically use it like I would never post a single thing again. I'd be too scared about getting banned.
I will never respond to anybody ever. I will retweet funny stuff. I will like stuff. But I will never reply to people ever again.
Think about all the content that is going to get missed out from Twitter.
Oh, no. Speaking of content, can I show off some cool stuff I got?
Yeah. Okay. Is this going to be a recurring segment? Is this our second time in a row?
So this is actually really important to me. Okay.
Okay.
So as people know, I am a Pokemon card collector, and I decided what I finally want to do with the hobby. My favorite Pokemon is Slacking. You know, he sleeps every other turn, and so do I. So what I am working on is getting all PSA 10 Slackings. So right here, I have the Detective Pikachu PSA 10 Slacking. I bought it off eBay. It's nothing too crazy. There's like maybe 6 or 7 in the world, PSA 10. But the one that I splurged on and probably spent way too much money on is I have a 2003 reverse hollow foil EX Ruby and Sapphire Slacking PSA 10. This is the only one in the world. I have a 1-of-1 PSA 10.
Well, only one until like another one gets graded, right?
Well, yeah, until one gets graded a 10, but like 1,000 of these have been graded, and this is the only 10. Because this is a card from 2003, so how many like 10 quality condition 2003 cards do you think are still out there? This was probably graded 10 years ago.
I literally couldn't tell you because I
Yeah.
barely remember that slacking was a Pokemon until you mentioned it.
But yeah, this is basically my holy grail. I'm the only person in the world with this, and it's really cool to me. Like, this is
Just
like
break it in half.
please no.
Just over
if
your
I was
knee.
if I was rich, I would like buy like Black Lotus and like rip it or like eat it.
We literally had a conversation. You're stealing my talking points at this point. I remember
Fuck
I
you.
had a whole segment about how I want to make a YouTube channel where I just ate Black Lotuses. Like you're
Like, just piss off nerds. It's like
Yeah.
Black Lotus Eater 420.
yeah, because it's one thing to do it once, but to do it multiple times. That's
Like
when
like
people-
ever like beats
it's a
have like
series.
such fuck you money that you're like buying like graded ones that are like $100,000 just to like crack open and eat.
Well, when you originally said like I'm gonna buy all the slackings, I thought you meant you were like gonna manipulate the card market where like literally no slackings were on the market unless they were from you. Because like
No.
I totally like when I was a kid, I was like, I want to have every copy of the game Wrecking Crew on the NES because I like the Eggplant Man. And now I realized like if I actually did that, I'd just be like a really like everyone would be like, I want to buy this game, but for some reason it's like it went from $4 to $900 because this guy bought 7,000 copies of the game.
That actually happened with Magic cards a couple years ago. There's this thing where Saudi royalty will randomly get really into a hobby and they'll just spend like millions and millions of dollars on it. So what they did is they went to every single website on the internet and bought out like every single expensive Magic card. So like cards that were 100 went to 400, and like some of these cards like several $1,000s a piece because like you just literally went to every website on the internet and bought them all. So
I'm conflicted because this guy like actually brought up a good point, but at the same time like he did the exact same thing. He like swore to like destroy. But there was this guy in the retro gaming community. I forget what game it was, and I forget their name. So maybe someone actually knows what I'm talking about. But there was a random Game Boy game that like it's so forgettable that no one
it's
cares.
night something, I think.
Yeah, but he basically said, you know what, I'm going to just manipulate the price of this. And it went from like a $5 game to like a $25 game, which isn't drastic. But like the fact that he was able to do that just by buying like
Yeah.
a certain amount of copies, like it wasn't unobtainable. If you really wanted to like, yeah, I guess he could flip them now. He could make that 500x profit.
I mean, I'm literally the only person in the world who wants this card, though. So maybe, I don't know. I think it's super cool. Like, can you say you have anything that's the only one in the world that's like
Yes.
worth money?
That's Chalmers.
Well, post it on Reddit, idiot.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what else. I have a limit. I mean, this is not the only one in the world. There's 800 of these ever made. Seaman Xmas Dreamcasts.
Actually, it's really cool.
yeah,
That's like cool though. Like that's
Yeah,
actually like really cool.
Why I spent way too much money on that. So yes, I agree. It's cool.
How much do you think I spent on this card?
I'm gonna guess $600.
A lot less. I spent only 300.
Okay, well, when you said you spent too much money, I knew it had to be at least 100, but I also knew that like it couldn't be over 1,000 because like that's just like they're spending too much money and then they're spending a reckless amount of money on a Pokemon card.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
super
I was like-
stupid.
I
I mean, granted, there are cards I would spend $1,000 on, but like,
Like if there's
Definitely
a
not
PSA
this.
10 graded Charizard and it's like, hey, $1,000.
well, no, I don't collect Charizards. It like there'd probably be like some
I
sort of raw
thought it was
card,
like
ungraded.
$25,000 for a PSA graded Charizard.
No, well, there's like 80 Charizards.
What if it was like a really good condition, like Mew or Entei from the Pokemon Forever movie?
The
With
card, like
Celebi.
you can probably buy a PSA 10 of that for like under $100.
Yeah, that movie was dope as fuck. Pokemon
I actually
Forever.
I actually have one more thing about Pokemon cards. I'm sorry. So the 25th anniversary set that's coming out in October. For those that don't know, this is the Pokemon trading card game 25th anniversary. The set is called Celebrations, and it's gonna be the biggest thing ever. It's coming out in October. Now, what happened though is that somehow packs and cards from this set were leaked. Like, this is like a huge thing. They were found on, I think, Craigslist, and people bought them. People have been doing videos of them being opened, and multiple people are in jail. Like, this is like serious. Like,
Oh shit!
well, like imagine like you being on like a work NDA, and then like you like selling something that like a work secret or something like that. That's
Well,
basically what this is.
I wonder because like I have like bought in like electronics or something like that, where like I get it on release day, but like in order for me to get it on release day and I order it online, like it has to ship a couple days before. Like I wonder how many like of those packages that like obviously are like a product that like how many of them get like stolen before they actually like get. There's a lot of ways to leak something early, but
to how insane the Pokemon card company is about this. So it's like when you go to the factory to to work there, it's like you have to take off like everything. You have to put on like a jumpsuit. You have to put like your keys, your phone like in a locked thing. Like they search you as you're going in, and they do the same exact thing as like you're going out. Like
it basically sounds like a security clearance. Except
yeah, like straight
cards.
up. Well, I mean, there's so much money behind this. Like some of these cards are $500, $600 a piece, and like to let that stuff out, people don't realize like Pokemon's the number one license in the world. It's bigger than Star Wars. It's bigger than Disney. Like it's all consuming. So them being serious about that, it's a big deal. So it's interesting to see how this stuff got out, if we'll ever find out. But my understanding is multiple people are in like big jail, like.
Big boy jail. I mean, this reminds me of like I remember when like I never did it, okay, but I downloaded Cheat Engine and I was like, I'm gonna hack MapleStory, and I didn't do it. I did not do it, so you don't have to hate me. But like,
I think I tried Kami once.
Yeah, but I was just like there were multiple things that scared me off. I think I was also like doing it on a character that like I had put an effort into, and that's always a bad idea if you're hacking. But
yeah,
like. I would remember I was reading like the Korean government, like if you hack MapleStory, you get like 10 years in prison. Like they are so serious about that. Like holy shit.
Well, that's why because all their games are like super pure. Like they have like no hacking or like very low amounts of hacking and stuff.
There
like
is
that
so much hacking in MapleStory, at least when I was playing.
I say so the Korean versions of these games. I'm saying like
yeah.
in Korea, yeah.
Hackers.
Speaking of PSA, though, this is actually kind of interesting. I don't know if you pay attention to eBay or anything like that, but one of the largest sellers on eBay is PWCC. They're a card seller. What they do is you can go to them and they will sell your cards for you via auction and just do it however long it takes, take a cut or whatever. And they were actually permanently banned from eBay or suspended or very limited. And when I say like the largest card seller, like this is like the largest card seller in the world. Like this is a major thing
what
that's
percent of
happening
sales do you think are from them in the card market?
Probably like 25%.
Okay, that's a big chunk. It's not like 90%, but
no. It's a lot. It's a lot. Because there's a huge problem on eBay with shill bidding. God, I can't speak either.
Have you ever this is a problem with auctions in general. Like, have you ever seen Uncut Gems?
I have not. No.
Well, do you mind it? Like a very minor spoiler. It's not really a spoiler. It's more that it's just like it's a very slight plot point from the movie.
I kind of want to watch it.
Okay, then I won't. Anyway, like people hire other people to basically rack up the cost in an auction all the time, and like they at a certain point, like they might screw themselves because it's like, oh, no one's actually outbidding me, so now I have to pay all these fees associated with it, and like but most of the time, like they do it in a reasonable way. So like a person who was gonna spend like $25 on a card might spend $35 because someone bid $25. And it's like, I want to beat them.
Yeah, like this recently happened to me. Like I was bidding on a card. I bid like $58 and I was at $58 up until like 10 minutes before the end of the thing, and my max bid was 100, and eventually it ended up going for 110 like immediately after my highest bid, like 10 minutes before it ended. And this is a card no one wants. No one is asking for this stuff. The last one that sold was in 2017, so I definitely think I got shill bidded there. But there's evidence that employees were shill bidding on PWCC auctions, and so they're temporarily suspended. Which I'm conflicted about this because, for one, it's like it doesn't make sense to shill bid to spend all this extra money to like bid up like cheap stuff. You know, they have enough cards on there that's like there's no way they can be like shill bidding, you know, on 10,000 different auctions. You know, the bigger problem is like individual small sellers doing it. Which is something that eBay really isn't doing too much about. You really can't do anything about it, but
it's hard to prove.
Yeah,
especially if you're a small enough seller that like it's like not really done on a systematic basis.
Yeah,
like I'm sure that like the eBay is able to be like these users from these IPs are consistently doing it, but
exactly. I'm just more interested in see how this affects the card market in general. I know this is like super boring stuff, but to me, I'm just interested to see like how prices and stuff goes because they literally have like a corner on graded cards. So
it's time for you to start your own grading service.
No, that is such a terrible.
The Dana grading system, and it's like,
well, they're not a grading service; they just sell graded cards.
Well, no, when you make the grading, and then you also, I don't know where I'm going.
There's so many terrible grading services out there that it's just like it's either PSA or BGS, and if you go to CGC, you're a little bitch.
Well, how about this? The Dana Big Penis grading system, and if your card is good, it's called penis. If it's really good, it's called slightly larger
big penis.
Just you want your card to be rated big penis.
Dude, I'm actually really pissed about this. So there was a card that someone posted on TikTok. It was a graded card. It was called the Penis King. It was a Nido King holographic, but it had a penis etched on the card. And it was graded. And usually when you get stuff graded, if they see like stuff that's like carved on the card, they will not grade it. So this is like an insane thing to have. And I offered them $500 for it, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to take it to auction." And I missed the auction and it sold for $100. So
well, I'm sorry that you don't have that. Just start like etching shitty cards. Just like start like.
But they won't grade it. They won't grade it. They like straight up
this
won't.
one.
Like this. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like this is like a 1 in a million thing to get through. Like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could probably spend like, what's the cheapest card? Like that's not like a energy card.
It costs $310 to get a card graded.
Oh yeah, I mean, we talked about the fact that like the line is like months long at this point to get your cards graded. So I could see that happening.
Yeah. So
well,
what else?
Start making your own penis card game, and then get those graded, and then you won't have to worry about like because it's gonna be accurate.
So
cards.
it's like Pokemon, but just pictures of my dick with like different like hats on it.
I wasn't thinking just yours. I was thinking like just a variety of dick.
No, it's just gonna be mine. I'm gonna buy like 100 penis hats.
I don't even know if like can you actually buy a penis hat?
Well, Google.
Yeah,
we've done it a million times. We're gonna Google it. Penis hats.
Well, it's gonna come up. Like that's classic.
On Etsy.
On Etsy, they did it.
Dick hat. You can buy like little sombreros for your penis.
The world is yours, man. And I'm not saying to buy a dick hat. I'm saying that you could. It's probably like I'm just really entrepreneurial today. Start making dick hats. Go that direction with your life. Someone did. These people did. These people went that direction. They're like, you know what?
What about this?
I'm going to go on the internet and say, oh. For those who are thankfully, the thing is, I wouldn't even show this on the video podcast, so you don't have to worry about it. But there is a if like imagine a glove for your penis, and so it's just going down the shaft. Think of that graphic, and now think about like a knitted one, like a crochet one, and then think of that crocheted as a minion, and it's a penis minion cosplay. I'm upset. I'm just upset.
I feel great.
He feels great, but I'm upset.